I just realized you guys couldn't hear me. Well, hey guys, Ethereum. That's what I was saying. Anyways, Ethereum, that's what we can talk about. I was saying, let's waste no time. Let's get into the charts and let's do it. All right, so hopefully it's not too loud, but we are looking at it, and when it was going sideways, right, I was expecting a bit bigger of a dip, right? I was expecting, instead of having it like this, right? Because usually once it comes down, and I should have known, I should have just left it like this, instead of thinking it was going to be like this, right? Because when I leave it like this, my fib anyway, because I use fibs for a lot of, I use fibs for guidance, right? If I leave it like this, then it's in the top 50%, which really, you know, which means it would have to have a really hard pullback that I would want to expect before it would take off. And it didn't do that. I should have just left it right here, right? Should have just left it right there. Why? Because whenever it came back up and touched the bullish or the bearish order block, right? And by bearish order block, I mean by this guy right here, right? So I'm in the 5-minute chart, right? So you gotta look, you gotta dig in and find these things. Right here is the bearish order block for this wave. So there was a bearish order block for this one too. So right, let me get the magnet on right here. Basically the same one. So it comes up, it comes inside this bearish order block, and what it does is that drives the price down, right? Comes down, boom, makes two equal lows, right? Comes back up, gets near the bearish order block, right? Starts to fall down again, boom, makes another low, right? And then as soon as I saw those three lows, I knew it was going to break them. Why? Because right below here, right below all this is liquidity, right? Say it with me now, liquidity, right? You ain't got, look, I mean, this is where everybody was thinking it was going to bounce from. Everybody had their buys, their buy limit set right here, right? So what does it do? It bounces up, everybody chases the buy, and then boom, right back down. Right back down. This is on the 17th of January, right? So this was just 2 days ago when this happened. So I'm thinking, okay, it's already gotten liquidity once. There's a liquidity pool sitting back over here, right? With the bullish order block sitting right here, right? I even have it marked. See, bullish order block. I've been talking about this for days, and I'm expecting it to pull back to here. Now, what I didn't think to expect was it going up to the all-time high. See, I thought it would probably get to that high, right, and then bust through that, and it busted through those highs. Everybody was thinking it might sell right here, right? So now, boom, it breaks through that liquidity, pulls back. Of course it's going to pull back. The reason it's going to pull back is because the dumb people who have their buy stops, right, set right here, right, and they have these really small, or actually they have their buy stop set just above it, right? So when it does take off, right, they know it's going to take off, and they have their stop losses set just below that, right? Because I think this is going to be support. The thing is just going to touch this, and it's going to be a support. Then it's going to take off. Well, what does it do? Comes back through it, right? Actually, and it touches the tip of, I think it was this last bearish order block or bullish order block. Let me see. It would have been the last green candle, which was this guy right here, right? So if you'd think of the tip of this was going to be, you know, the new support, you're wrong, because it came all the way back down to this guy right here. So it pulled those people out who had short stop losses, right? And then boom, went right back up, right? Because everybody was probably chasing the sell. Everybody's like, okay, new high, boom, gonna sell. Everybody's chasing the sell, boom, it takes off and gets a new high. And then after it gets the new high, it just goes for the record-breaking all-time high, right? So all-time high before this was 1424.30, right? Now our new all-time high, and this is by Bitfinex, is, let me get that on. There we go, 1439, right? 1439.80 is what this one is. We should probably check other ones, right? We should probably check other. I got so much going on here. I don't really want to care about the dollar. Dollar could have something to do with it because the dollar is falling, right? The dollar fell, right? And the current wave that it's at. Oops, I just moved it. The current wave that it's at, it just retraced. I know you can't even see it, but it retraced to it went down to right here is the 70.5, as I always talk about, right? So it went up, fell all the way back down to the 70.5 right here. If you were to go short, right, on the trade up here, right, this would be a 300 extension of that trade, right? It would be right above it, or at the you know, at the 62. So this is the 300 extension just below the 62, and then it reaches the 70.5. Sorry, I'm letting somebody know I'm live now. So, all right. So what happened? So this is what happened to the dollar, right? So the dollar got all the way down here. What time was this when the dollar hit its low? This is today, right? The dollar hits its low today around 8:30, right? Let me see what time Ethereum hit its high. It was around the maybe 8:30 was right around here. So it was playing with its high, right? So everybody's changing their dollars over to Ethereum is what was going on, right? Everybody was changing their dollars over to Ethereum. Then boom, actually this might even be the high. I'm not for sure. Let's just check out what this one got to. 1839 even, and then we have 1839.40. So yeah, broken the high by $15. We have broken the high of the previous high that we had back in 2017, right? It was 2017, 2018, 2017. So 3 years in the making, Ethereum finally breaks the high today, right? Now what is going to happen to Ethereum? it's going to scare people, right? It's going to scare people, and it's going to probably fall a little bit, right? It's already kind of, well, the thing about Ethereum is I was watching, here, let me pull up my retail template. So if you pull up the retail template, for some reason the MACD loves to just go skyrocketing on this thing. All right, you pull the retail template, look, you have, come on, move down a little bit. You have, so as this is moving up, right, you actually have it way oversold back here, right? From that point on, you had bearish divergence. So you had bearish divergence going on throughout this entire time. So once it hits the high, it's actually, you know, not even oversold at all, right? So to me, you know, and this is one thing, whenever I was learning retail theory and all that, and everybody was talking about bearish divergence, what I always thought, and what would happen 9 times out of 10, is that just because the RSI is getting lower doesn't mean that it's going to fall eventually. What it means is that it's giving itself room to get oversold again, right? So that would be something I would be looking out for, right? Now it probably will fall, right? Scary. It's probably, now that it's reached its all-time high, it probably will fall just a little bit. I'm thinking it will fall back to the area that I had originally anticipated, right? And the one I originally anticipated was right here, right around 1140. 1140, because okay, so your liquidity point here, right? So where your two equal lows are is somewhere around 1150, right? And then you have the bullish order block that is down here, and Bitcoin to 1 quadrillion. I will agree with you, sir, that Bitcoin will go to 1 quadrillion in the future. But what I want, back to Ethereum, by the way. Thank you very much. Also, I want to thank my sponsor, Monster. It's a very good sponsor to me. Love it. Now there's this order block way down here, right? And like I said, if you want to 5-minute chart, you want to scroll in, get really quick into it, right? There is a bearish. All right, these two bearish candles right here. This is your bearish order block, right? Just below your liquidity point, right? You have two equal lows, right? Everybody's thinking that it's going to hit here and then bounce off, right? If it gets to this point. No, smart money says everybody's got their money sitting here, so it's going to get below that, take their money, right? And then hit this bullish order block and then continue on. So that's where I would watch the drop. I wouldn't expect it to get lower than that. If it gets lower than that and we get down to, you know, the thousands again, 900s, I think we're looking at some trouble with Ethereum. But I don't think we're going to get to that point. Let me auto this really quick. Again, it took those people out that were thought they were smart there. But again, with the RSI here, let me go with the hour really quickly so we can see the RSI. Jeez, I have so much stuff in here you can't even read it. Let me get rid of the Fibonacci. All right. So it is showing it is oversold, but through the 1 hour RSI is not too bad. Actually, it looks quite normal. Looks like the MACD got a little crazy back here. Right now we are on a sell signal on the MACD. The MACD is giving a sell signal. It looks like momentum is shifting to the downside. RSI suggesting the same. Looks like RSI is dropping quite a bit. I actually want to throw in a different one. Let me throw in short-term smart money, and then let me take this and turn it off futures and put it others, and take this off futures and put it to others. Yep, this one's crossing. All right, so the open interest money flow. So open interest is about to cross into the bearish zone, which means we could see a drop. It looks like it is staying above just a little bit. It's not into the bearish zone just yet, but the open interest money flow index, you know, we're still good, but it looks like it could be getting into the bearish zone soon. As fun as the open interest stochastic already had the sell signal. Had the sell signal right after it looks like it got its high, right before it got its high, which is interesting. So it got its high around 9 o'clock this morning, but the sell signal was coming at around, well, if I could get this to move, right around 6. So it looks like it was giving us a warning that it was gonna be falling, or at least selling. So with the retail ones, right, the retail indicators, right, and these are my smart money indicators, right? So I got smart money indicators, I got retail indicators. I use both for whatever. So now what are we looking at? So again, watch out for this line here, right around 1140-ish. I think it might drop to that, right, return to about 80% of that drop, and then drop again, but it won't complete all the way down here, right? Probably gonna stop somewhere in, because there's a lot of heavy traffic here in where it was going sideways, right? It'll probably stop somewhere in there, right? And then we'll start to see it floating. We'll start to see it floating, and then eventually, boom, it'll take off. Give it about a week or two, and it'll be at 1180. At least 1180, if not 1200. Not 1200, hello, 2000. So that would be, let me see if I can't draw a path here. So again, sometime soon, boom, down to here, and then I want to see a retracement of about 80%, and back down to probably somewhere around here, right? And then you're just gonna see it climb and then fall, and then climb and then fall. And you know the game. So it'll probably keep doing that for quite some time, right? And then whenever we least expect it, right, it's just gonna, and then boom, we're gonna have one shot up, and it'll probably pull back down a little bit and then take off. That has been the MO so far. That was the MO for this one, right? Made that high, right? Fell, came back up, played around, and then boom, took off, right? And that was it again back here, right? Boom, fell, pulled back, played around, took off, right? It just seems to be on a loop, I would say, right? So keep that in mind. Stay, you know, if it does fall, don't worry, it's gonna come back. You know, I think we all got scared a little bit whenever it fell down to you know, back in the 600s, but I don't know what I put down in here, but there's something down there. But I think we are definitely good again. Now, what I wanted to check next, of course, was good old Bitcoin. I actually have Bitcoin futures contract of March set up here. Looks like people are thinking it's you know, it's trading around 38,000 right now for the futures contract for March. Let's just see what the regular price is of it now. So 38,097. And also in the bottom right corner, you know, we can of the video, you can definitely see the current price of faintly you can see it of Ethereum. So we can always check the price of Ethereum as we are going on. But let's check BTC USD. Actually, what I wanted to do is I want to see the cross. I want to see how this is going. Let's check Coinbase. So price of Ethereum is definitely outlasting or at least outpacing Bitcoin right now. So what does that mean? And I'll do some technical analysis on these crosses because it'll give us an idea of what's going to happen, what's going on. All right, so last big down move for the up move would be probably right here, right? And then now we have the, why did that just happen? I don't want Japan. Come on now. HBTC. Oh, good. It was still there connected. All right, boom. So, is there anything near the 70.5? Yes, there is. Looks like we have these two bullish spikes here, right? So I have two of them, two equal highs. That looks like they got blasted out whenever it came above that, right? So two equal highs here, right near the 70.5, right? But it looks like it would probably dip down into it. I'm actually not all the way up. Let me get this and all right. Yeah, since you can trade these, smart money wants a discount, right? Smart money missed this move. Oops, why did this happen? So smart money wants a discount, then what's gonna happen? Ethereum gonna fall, Bitcoin is gonna go up, right? Until about right here, until it hits this price right here. Exchange rate or exchange price would be around 0.35. Soon as it hits that, I would expect more bullishness out of Ethereum and less out of Bitcoin. So I would think So, like I said, Ethereum is definitely outperforming it right now. Right? Wait for this to come back down to here. And the reason here is because you have these guys. Let me boom, right there. Okay. So these guys are your last push down, right? So I always talk about the last push down before the push up. And so this is your last push down. Right, so once it comes back and it finds that last push down, it's going to return back up. So I think we're going to see a little bit less Ethereum, right, and a little bit more Bitcoin. So let's check out Bitcoin actually. That is Cardano. We can change Ethereum here to actually Bitcoin. What do I want? Let's go with Binance. Even though it's got Tether, it's the same thing. Trading is it 60? Is it 36? Is that what it is? I want to check my MetaTrader 4 app to see what Bitcoin is at. Yep, 36,316 is what I got. This is 36,350. Okay, and the futures are trading at 38. So that means we're expecting a little bit higher out of Bitcoin. Now, let me see if I can't find a good smart money move that's going to happen. Let me get off the 15-minute because for some reason, it's not letting me scroll in closer like it used to. All right, so we have this. I know it's drawn into triangle here. And dotted, let's go line. Okay. All right, so we are heading this way. All right, so now the way I used to trade triangles, right? And as you can see, this isn't the perfect curved. There we go. Okay. So this has nothing to do with actual triangles. This has everything to do with price action. So this has to do where price hit. So the reason price stopped here and went up had nothing to do with this triangle or this angle. It had everything to do with what is on the left side of the chart. Let's take a look at what's going on the left side of the chart whenever this went up. So I'm going to draw a line right here. And this line I'm going to make a little bit less bombastic. Make it dashed. All right. There it is. Boom. That candle, that tiny little red candle, that's it right there. That is your bullish order block. Your bullish order block is boom, it took off after that. And that's where the run started, right? Because before that, it was going lower. It was going lower and it was going sideways. And your last candle down, boom, before it goes up, that right there is your bullish order block. So let me ellipse that. Boom, right there. That is the reason why this one stopped right there and went the other way, because it hit the bullish order block that was in that price action. Boom, it took off up. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Now, same thing probably happened with this guy. Probably hit the last candle down before it took off up. Actually, well, looks like it was inside of it. Well, yeah, right here. Okay. So you have these three candles that were going down. Almost getting to... Actually, if we get into the 5 minutes of this, I bet we can find it. Draw another line here. Boom, there you have it. There it is right there. Looks like a little hot dog. Goes about halfway through the candle, right? Then, so here you have your last red candle down, and then boom. After that, it takes off. Right? Because before that, we were going down. Starts going sideways, a little bit up. You could argue that it's both of these candles, because they're but this candle over here too, could argue it's that one too, since it, but that one has a little bit, it's a little bit more wicky. I don't like wicks. Wicks do not, usually the ones that have more volume, because the ones that have more volume are when the people, the institutions, right, and then they drop a crap load of money, right, into the system, right, just to push it down a little bit more, right, so that way they can get a better position whenever they buy, right. That's when you get that volume. So that's why I like that as a bullish order block, right? So that way when it returns to that candle, so the whole point of having an order block like this is because whenever you have institutions that have tons of money, right, whatever they do, what they do is they do this, right? Give me a minute and I'll show you. So first what they do is they put in a short position, right, where that candle is that I was talking about. They put that short position in and they push it down just enough, right, just enough so that way they can get a little bit of a better position. That way whenever they buy, right, whenever they go long, they make just a little bit extra. Hold on 1 second. Did that long come out? There we go. So they long this, right? They get, oh, well, wait, I had short position again, my bad. Dang it, it took out the short one. So okay, so let me actually put up the long position first, right? So whenever they're going for the long position, they first put in the short position, right? And they have deep pockets. So they have deep pockets, so they can be in the red. They can be in the red as long as they want. Millions and millions of dollars, they can be in the red, these institutions, right? So they push it down just enough so that way they can get a better position, right? That better position takes them all the way up here. They earn, you know, how much would that be? A good 6%, 7% from where they started, right? And then once they get there, they close the trade, take their profits, whatever they do, right? And then they just wait. And they wait for it to come down, or they push it back down again, right? From somewhere over here, somewhere over here. They'll actually just push it back down. That way they can get to this area, right? And that way they can just close this trade out and they didn't lose any money by pushing it down, right? That's the whole point of smart money, right? That's what institutions do. And that's why you got to look for these certain candles, right? These certain candles, the last push down before the up, right? Because those are going to be the ones that are going to be the tip off that tell you where smart money is, right? So the question is, you know, where's the next one for Bitcoin? I don't know, because we just hit it, right? So we just hit the last down up candle, right? Is there, if there's not there's some liquidity here, right? So I would expect it to try and break this liquidity. And what I mean by liquidity, I mean equal highs, right? So you have, we draw a trend line from here to here, right? Everybody's going to think that this is resistance, right? You look at this and what do you see? You think resistance, because you see this come up, you hit, right? It falls down, comes back up, hit, oh, resistance, right? So eventually everybody's going to put their sell limits, right here. They think it's going to come up, they think it's going to sell again as soon as it hits there. They think this is the line, the sell limit line, right? Even though there is resistance above it, right? We all know about the 42,000 resistance, right? That's up here. But short-term resistance, oops, didn't mean to move that. Short-term resistance is right here, right? So once it gets up to this area, probably what is going to happen, let me see if I can draw it out, right? Comes up, hits it, right? Gets everybody to start selling, and then boom, turns around, goes the other way. And it goes the other way so we can take people out. And so there's two different types of people around these areas, right? There's the shorters, right? So the shorters with short stop losses because they don't want to lose a lot of money, right? So they short this area right here. And then there's also the people that expect a breakout, right? The people that expect to break out, put it just above where it's at, and they expect it to come back down and touch, you know, just the top of this, right? And that's going to be the new support, right? That's not what happens, right? What they do is they come up here, they sell, they go through it, right? They make people think that that's going to take off. And instead of coming back down and touching this as support, it comes back down even lower and takes those people out, right? So now this is, smart money has taken out the two different types of retail people that think this way, right? So then now it's coming back down lower, and then now it just takes off. That's what I would expect Bitcoin to look like in the very, very near future, right? And then after that, same thing's going to happen once we get to up here, right? So once we get up here, you're going to see you're going to see it come up, right? Hit that. And you're going to see it play off that for a little bit, right? You'll probably see it come back down and hit near this triangle. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it fly through this triangle for a little bit. And the reason being is because there's going to be a lot of people buying at this triangle, right? Thinking that this is, you know, the place to buy because it's formed a triangle, you know. And so I would expect it to come up, right? Make an equal high and then fly and then fall through the triangle, right? Because then people are going to be buying right here. Once it gets near the triangle, thinking it's gonna at least go up again, you know, maybe touch the top of it. But instead, it's gonna come through and then take their liquidity, right? And then we're probably gonna find something over in here, right? I'm gonna look over in this guy. Actually, we should probably get into the 5 minutes of it and get into it. Let me get to auto. Again, this is why you have to get in the nit-grit of these things, because you gotta find these candles. Because once you find the golden candle, you know exactly where to place your buy area at. What in the world is going on? Oh, I'm in the 20s. That's why. It's not gonna get in the 20s. That's for sure. Gonna be in this guy right here. Okay, there it is. All right, let me get it off auto so I can play with it. One second. All right, so I'm looking. I'm thinking it's this guy, but it's a little bit wicky. Actually, it's this guy right here. Found it. All right, so right here. All right, 31,988. I know that sounds gloomy. I know nobody wants Bitcoin to get that low again. I'm just trying to think on a logical level about how smart money works and about what it's going to do. And to be honest, that looks about right. I wouldn't be surprised if we did that, right? So we have these equal highs, it comes up, plays through these equal highs, boom, comes back up, creates an equal high with this guy, right? Let me get rid of these since we know that those guys are out of it now. And comes back to where the triangle would be. Everybody's thinking it's gonna buy, so it can buy through the highest high, right? So we can create a new high. But instead, smart money has enough power to sell through it, right? Then once smart money sells through it, it's gonna go all the way back down to that bullish order block. That bullish order block is gonna be sitting right around here. Right around 31,988, or let's just say 32. Right around 32. That's where I'm going to start. To me, I'm going to put buy limits there. I'm going to put a lot of buy limits there. Right around there, 32.1. Somewhere around in there. And try to see if I can't catch the best buy. And then after that, I think that's when we're going to see the takeoff. Or we could see it come up, right? Hit this high. Oh yeah, probably come up, hit this high, and then we're going to see it play the smart money game, right? Fall back, everybody's going to chase it, come back up, take the buy stop people, make them chase it, pull back down, and then go back up again. Can't tell you how many times I've seen that happen. Happens all the time. Happened today. Right, so the previous high for Ethereum, let's go back to Ethereum. That's Ethereum and Bitcoin. So ignore all the drawings. Let me get some of the stuff off of here. I think it just moved something I didn't mean to. I'm in the hour. Let's get in the 5 minute. See, as it was breaking the high today, it did the same thing, right? It breaks the high, pulls back, comes back up, makes people want to buy, pulls back, comes back up for one more fake out, and then boom, it drops, right? So it had everybody sitting here at the high, the previous high. It did the same thing, right? Runs through the high, then pulls back down for the people that were thinking it was gonna use the previous high as a support level, right? Not gonna use it as a support level, so instead it pulled through it, right? Taking those people out, and then wavering through, and then falling again, right? You got to think about the people, the retail people who were trying to play this game, right? Shorting it right at this area instead of waiting for it to break the high and then shorting it, right? And then the people that think that as soon as it breaks it, it's gonna take off, and you know, we're not gonna, you know, and it's gonna fall back and hit this as a support, and then continue on. Instead, it doesn't do that at all. It just comes back as it normally would, falls back through, right? And it does it again, right? So now it did it actually 3 times. So this is the name of the game, and that's what I would expect smart money to do with Ethereum. And that's what I expect smart money to do with Bitcoin. Those are the 2 big ones. Now, the one honestly that I really am looking forward to is Litecoin. I know we had the high. It came, I think it made a high, one of the highs today, right? It came, if it didn't make the highest high, it came close. No, I think the higher high. I think it had like, I don't know. Can't remember Litecoin's highest high. I want to say it's like 400, but I could be wrong. I may be thinking of something else. Go with day, and let's go all the way back. Yeah, I was definitely wrong. Litecoin's highest high is 367. So I was close to the 400. I thought it was somewhere around there. 369. All right. But what it did do, we have broken this. It did break this high here. So it did break this midterm high, right? Or this swing high. Just broke it. Man, this is definitely some smart money at play. That's for sure. Just broke it. So everybody's got their, you know, same thing. Everybody had their sell limits right there, thinking that it was going to sell, right? Instead, it pushed through just a little bit, for the buy stop people to think it was going to break through and then use that as a new support and then keep going. So got those people out, and then it fell. But that didn't happen today. That happened last week. I didn't realize that. I thought we were a lot higher than that. But you know what? Yeah, you're right, because I remember this fall. Because I actually made money on this fall. And I was sad to see it fall. Because, you know, it's weird whenever you have, you know, whenever you have equity in it, but then again, you also have a trading account and you're trading against it. Kind of, you know, bittersweet, but hey, at least you're making money one way. But looking at the day, right? Now you got to think about how money moves on a daily basis too, right? Whenever money moves on a daily basis, it's trying to break either a high or a low, right? It's always going to try to break a high or a low. So each day, right, you have to form a bias, right? Form a bias and see if it's going to, you know, take that bias. Find those order blocks and you know, breakers from previous days, right? And see if it's going to, if you're thinking it's going to fall, right? Find an order block, you know, from one of the previous days and see if it's going to hit it. Then you can put your position there, right? And then buy at that position. That way you get, you know, you're not dollar cost averaging as Coinbase would love for you to believe that that's the best way to invest is dollar cost average. No, bitch. What you can do, you can actually learn how to be a technical trader and then find the good spots, right? And understand how money moves, understand price action, right? That way you can get the most out of your money, right? So as you can see, you know, came down, it turned, it went up, it broke the high, right? Now this one, it broke its low, right? This one, all right, indecision candle. Every once in a while you'll have those. Then what? You had broke a low, right? Then you broke a high. Then what? Boom, broke a high, and boom, indecision candle, right? So everyone, like I said, every once in a while you just have an indecision candle, but most of the time you're breaking highs and lows each day. Look, boom, broke this high, boom, broke this low. Indecision candle, right? Then boom, broke this high, then boom, broke this low. So you got to form a bias, which day you think it's going to be, just by looking at it, right? Because it always just kind of flows, right? Up and down, up and down. So you're just going to have to form a bias, figure out where your bias is going to be, and see if you can't get in a good position of how you're going to trade that, right? So if we get into Litecoin, we get into the 4 hour of it. Let's see what we got going, all right? I'm going to start Fibonacci in this shit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, well, we got a huge spike down here. We got some liquidity runs. This right here, that right there is smart money. Smart money taking out anybody that was trading, right, going long with a short stop loss. Smart money said no. They just said screw you, and they just sold all through this. Anybody that had a stop loss through there, took them out. That money goes to the broker, then that goes to the trader who sold that all. So, or who actually, you know, went short on that trade. So they're going short on the trade as they're selling their assets at the same time, right? So even though they're losing money on the assets, they're really not, because they're shorting that trade, making 10 times as much on those contracts. I was trying to see if there's equal lows, and they're not really equal lows, so not really much liquidity down there for it to get much lower. At least I don't think it's going to get much lower. But where's liquidity, right? For it to get, come on now, move. There isn't much high liquidity either. It did come up, hit the bearish order block just now, right? You had the, here's the green candle, right? That pushed up right before the big drop. It did get up to that green candle, right? Now it dropped. That's what I would expect it to do. And now we gotta find the the bullish one that's gonna do the same thing and push it up. There is one right here, right? Luckily, there's one very close by. There's too much mucky muck right through here, right? At least I think there's too much mucky muck right through there. I don't think it would get all the way down here. This wouldn't make sense. Plus, it's already came down here and mitigated it. Prices already came down here and mitigated it. Price has not mitigated this candle right here. So I'm personally putting a buy limit on Litecoin right now, 142. Remember, folks, this is just for education only. This is not broker advice or any kind of financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Anything that you hear or see from me is all opinion. It looks like I found it here on my MetaTrader 4. Around 140.69 on my MetaTrader 4. So looks like Kraken is a little bit higher. But I think that is where it is headed. And, well, no, there are equal lows, actually. Hold on my end. Around 138.49. But it's showing right through here where these guys are jacked. This is why I don't like wicks, right? Because wicks can... Well, actually, hold on. You know what? The reason I'm finding different things is because I'm on the 4-hour. And the real way to find it is going to be in the 5-minute. All right, we got the big arch coming down, okay. Then there's the drop. Right here. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Right here. We got two equal lows. Could get below that, but then again, there's too much wick. I don't know. There's too many wicks. I don't like it. But not in the 5-minute. Hold on. Let me spread this out. Just in between daily highs. Also had that. This guy's a little wicky. I think this is too low though. This is at the bottom of this is at the bottom of the drop, isn't it? No. Bottom of the drop is 126. Nope. Even lower than that. Okay, let me relook at this. I'm at the 4 hour again. Man, the institutionals really got a hold of Litecoin, that's for sure. Really got a hold of it. But it's balanced, right? After that drop, rebalanced, pushing up. Now it's coming down. I don't think it's going to get lower. I don't know, it could. Could get lower than this. I'm going to say anywhere between 130, 142 and this guy here. I don't think it's going to get lower than 125, that's for sure. 142 and 134. I think that's about all we got. So, text by 2, right? Just this area is by 1. That's what I'm thinking for Litecoin. And I think Litecoin is next to start taking off. Zcash, or not Dash, Zcash. Zcash. Looking like Cardano actually. Have you seen Cardano? Oops, didn't mean to do that. Zcash again. I think 88. Here we go. Both of them take. Let me get templates in here. I want to see what the RSI is looking like for these guys in the 4 hour. This guy is looking all right. So, ooh, all right. Boom. Definitely oversold. Right. Came back. Right now we are just at oversold. Ugh. Why do you do this? All right. So we could be looking at a little bit of a retracement. I mean, Cardano has kind of just been sitting there doing this all day. For days, actually. Probably a couple days. Right? These are 4 hour candles. Cardano's just hanging around. Anyways, guys, I gotta go.